はい、皆さん、こんにちは。私のチャンネルへようこそ。Hello and welcome to today's video where we have our lovely guest, Madina. Hello, welcome.
Hello, 皆さんこんにちは、Madina です。Nice meeting everyone.
Today, Madina is going to explain a little bit about why she came to Japan, why she lives here, and some of the high and low points about life in Japan. Firstly, would you mind explaining why you came to Japan in the first place?
Yeah. Well, honestly, I think it's a very deep story. I was very young at that time. I haven't had much experience in the life, so I feel I kind of struggled with my life, finding myself, to be happy, being myself at that time. So I was around 25, 26 years old. Yeah. I just felt insecure and really inconfident in my life and not sure what I'm going to do in my life. So then I was looking for a job and I couldn't find a good job in Kazakhstan, but I speak English, right? So I was a bit shocked that having experience in such a big engineering international British company, I couldn't find a job. And then I just thought maybe I should study another language. And in Kazakhstan that time, Japan, nobody, know much about Japan even yet. It's very difficult to come to Japan. So I thought it could be a good chance in the future for me. Yeah. So then I just came to study Japanese, but I fell in love to Japan, and then I just never could come back. Yeah, I've been in Japan for 9 years now.
9 years. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
Long time, and I have pretty much very interesting experience working, studying, getting married second time with a wonderful Japanese husband. And I feel, my life in Japan changed so much. I just could open up myself and, achieve many things, learn many things, see that my life could be very diverse.
Do you feel that since moving to Japan that you've changed a lot in yourself?
Yeah, I think I became independent woman. Yeah, and it's very important for me. So Kazakhstan still has that Eastern culture that woman is more weak than compared to a man. Or if you work, you still have to do everything in your house by yourself.
Right.
And I just could never accept that fact that, we are not horses. I do still do lots of things around our house and, to help. I think it's kind of women's duty. Well, I think so, to make your house comfortable, because still we are feminine. But at the same time, it doesn't mean, it's just only our duty. We are family.
Yes, yeah.
My husband, he really helps me, I don't ask him, but, when I'm busy, he does help me in the house, or he doesn't make me to do things, or he never gets angry with me if I'm, busy. Yeah, and I could work and he trusts me. So, yeah, being independent, powerful woman, yeah, that I think changed.
It sounds like he's a really nice person for you. Yeah. Seeing as you've been married, previously it was a Kazakh man. Yeah. Comparing to your Japanese husband, are there any perhaps cultural things or attitudes that differ between them? Like the way that they are, or the way that they speak to you, the way that they see you, maybe?
Yeah, very different.
Okay.
But I don't want to say my ex-husband is a bad person. I have a son from him, so whatever, he's the father of my son, so I do respect him, and we're just different people. But overall, my previous relationship, even before my first husband, I feel there's no trust. Yeah, no trust and no freedom for women. It sounds very feministic right now, but that's my personal experience.
I see.
Yeah, as I said, my Japanese husband, he always trusts me. Even my previous work mostly was with men, and I sometimes mostly stayed late at work, and he never asked me. I just say, I will be late today because I'm with a client on a dinner, and he never asked me. He just trusts. At first time, I was a bit actually anxious, why he never gets jealous. Well, it's just normal, I think, he can trust me, but sometimes he could ask me where you go. He never even asks well, I mean, he just totally trusts me. And then he said, it's your own responsibility. You know, if you make a mistake towards our relationship, I cannot change it. It's your own, choice. That was very moving for me.
Yeah.
Of course, every country has, all variety of people. So I'm sure there are also very traditional Japanese husbands, and they prefer them to not to work and just sit at home. But still, I feel they have a freedom. I mean, Japanese men, they give you some trust and freedom.
Well, it sounds like you love Japan, and being in Japan has really maybe changed you for the better. You found yourself.
I just feel like I'm like reviving every time. I have so much new steps in my life every time. Or I don't know, maybe it's my character. I like to learn. Japan, I have been living 9 years, but I cannot stop admiring things. Japan culture has so many small komakai elements in anything, in the food, in design, in service. Even bowing. The bow can be different from when they want to say hello or they want to say bye.
You mentioned food, and I wonder, because Japanese food is so unique, and there are many new things that you're learning about food. But I wonder if there's anything that has surprised you about food, maybe a style or presentation or even a food itself?
Yeah, I love Japanese food. I actually making only washoko, only Japanese food right now. Japanese food is very healthy, but what I was shocked is, and actually I wasn't sure if me and my husband, currently that time boyfriend, will be okay together, like dating and living further, that you have to buy, the grocery one by one, like one potato, one tomato, like that.
Okay.
Yeah, in Kazakhstan, I used to buy like 5 or 20 kilos potato for the whole year.
Right.
Yeah, but like I cannot do that anymore. I'm like so used to Japan right now.
Yeah. I mean, like for me, I love shopping every day. I love it. And my husband's like, why don't you just like bulk buy for a week? And I'm like, no.
But your husband is Japanese and he tells you that?
Yeah, because like I think in some places you can get, maybe it's not like a huge 5 kilogram bag of potatoes, but it's enough to last, a week or 2 weeks.
Yeah, but only maximum 5 potatoes in one bag, basically.
I see,
and they use it for a week. Well, I usually use for 2 days, but still, when we were dating, I wanted to make a Kazakh food, basically stew, so that needs lots of ingredients, but just lots of potato and lots of meat. But in Japan, food is like so much ingredients and tiny pieces.
Right.
Yeah, and I bought like 2 packs of potato and 2 packs of meat, and it's very expensive. And he told me, why do you need so much? I'm like, but like we are going to eat it together. Like how we? It's not gonna be enough. But once we started to live together, then I kind of figured out, and then I learned some recipes from his mother, and I just really loved how it's always fresh and quick. Actually, it's quick. You only fry for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, seriously, and so healthy for you.
So many foods, I think, are much more healthy than I expect, because it tastes so good. And even if the cooking is simple, it has a complexity of flavor to it. So also, like if you're trying to cook foreign foods, it does become more expensive. But when you can embrace Japanese dishes, then it's good.
It's expensive, and actually you cannot really make your food here. Yeah, it's just too expensive. In Kazakhstan, we basically kill the sheep or the horse. Yeah, sorry, we eat horse in Kazakhstan. The whole horse, and we have 2 fridges in Kazakhstan, and one for meat, and another just daily one.
I see.
Yeah, so but in Japan there's not much meat. Yeah, it's so expensive. Just 100 grams, like $15. Yeah, but also I was surprised when we dinner with my husband's family. They always talk about food. Like, oh, this fish came from Hiroshima. This sake came from Hokkaido. they just talk about food basically. I never experienced that, but I admire that so much. They have such a sense of gratitude to everything. I never could think people can be like that, you know.
I think there's a sensitivity generally amongst Japanese people and an awareness that like somebody farmed this, you know, these vegetables, you know, like this is not just on your plate magically, like this is work, this is people's lives, you know.
Yeah, that's I never could think that way. Yeah, and when sometimes we go traveling, I like traveling with my husband. For example, we went to Karuizawa, very great place, and it's famous with nashi pear. So then they provide you the champagne with their local pear. Well, honestly, I don't feel it's different, but how they serve and say this is only that local pear, you know, and you just get this moment, and it makes you feel so connected with the nature, with people, and you get lots of gratitude.
And that situation that you describe, doesn't it feel like this moment will never happen again? Like it makes you grateful for this moment. I don't know,
I just forget about other things that moment. I think this year I finally got Zen. I've heard of that, everybody hears about Zen, but actually to experience that, I think you need time. So I think on the 9th year, this year, I just got, you know, so like you don't feel those emotions, you don't feel negative or you don't feel even positive emotions. You just feel kind of soft. You feel like surrounded by foam, I don't know, but you just like in that moment, like in one moment, and you don't hear anything, you're just so connected with the nature. I cannot explain that.
Oh my goodness, that sounds amazing. Mina-san, if this resonates with you, if you felt this kind of bliss, I guess, do leave a comment below. And I'd like to ask, which scenario was this in when you felt that like just deep connection?
Yeah, so me and my husband went to Karuizawa and we spent all day in the nature. People just were very nice, and then the food came. Food was so interesting, so amazing, and then I went to the onsen, to the bath, and I was completely alone there. And then when I was opening the door to that outside bath, so, and I just saw that nature and that steam coming from the pool, and there's nobody, and I just figured out that when I opened it, I smiled. I mean, I am used to that actual material things, or maybe achievements or work, something you achieved or you got as a present, you know, material things makes you smile, makes you happy. But here, just doing nothing, just see the nature made me smile. So I think that was my first time on being alone, you know, feeling that. Yeah, and then I came back and told my husband about that, and I just started to cry. How I just feel so happy.
Yeah. That's such a lovely point, because I really feel like in Japan there's like the simplicity, which is also like a luxury, and people understand that. They don't need, you know, like fancy things, or like, you know, in the UK and US it's very gorgeous thing, you know, like very
Kazakhstan same.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, it's like maybe in Japan everything is kind of luxurious level, but it looks very simple and it's affordable to anyone.
But even, you know, like I do tea ceremony, and some of those tea bowls, from my Western perspective, it's just a tea bowl, you know. But to understand the work that's gone into this, the craftsmanship, this is art. This isn't just a bowl, it's an art, you know, so, yeah.
Yeah, and Japan culture is the duty, you know. I've been recently watching Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Crown, I was actually admired by, you know, I think it's not easy, like we can choose how we want to live, but she couldn't, right? Sometimes she just has to, and that's the duty of her life. And Japanese people, they also do that. I admire how even I changed. in Kazakhstan, I felt like I have to have a car and apartment by 30, otherwise I'm a loser. That was my mentality. But here, I changed my job and now I'm esthetician.
Wow.
I help people to become beautiful in salon.
Can I book?
Yeah. And I have to do so much bows, and sometimes we need to do it on the knees. But I don't feel I'm a loser, you know, if I don't work in a great... I used to work in a very big company, but I felt tired of that, so...
Yeah, no, I think you really start to understand that, like, true value isn't in an object, and money comes and goes, but the most amazing life experience is, like, feeling that joy, feeling that happiness that you felt.
Yeah, life itself.
Yeah.
Japan helps you to feel that life from everything, every aspect, you know. Just how the ohashi, the sticks are placed on the table, just that, you know, really admires, makes you feel different.
Totally. This was such a really interesting conversation, and thank you so much for sharing your true feelings, your kokoro. Before we end, do you have a YouTube channel or?
Yeah, I am launching my Japanese English channel, so you can check it. I would be very glad, and I hope you will like it.
Lovely. The link to Madina's channel is in the description box below. As always, please do leave your comments. We'd love to know your thoughts on today's chat. And until next time, bye bye.